One of the most upsetting responses to the October 7th massacre has, of course, been the denial of the use of rape and sexual assault as a method of war used by Hamas. ILTV's Ariella Lahyani was recently in London to see just how prevalent this toxic narrative is. Let's take a look.
Do you believe that Israeli women have been sexually abused by Hamas?
I don't believe any Israeli woman no complain about in any media. I don't see.
I do believe that Israeli women have been raped. I actually know that for sure.
I mean, yeah, probably, to be honest.
Maybe is one Hamas. If any one Hamas people do this one, give punishment this one person. For one person, don't blame everyone.
I don't doubt that they have, honestly. I really don't doubt it.
I feel like I've seen it in the media on both sides, like for Palestinian women and people in Gaza, but also for people in Israel.
It wasn't that long ago that the Me Too movement began. To give women more credibility and to tell people to believe women when they see these kind of things happen. So I have no idea why people across the world would doubt at all the testimonies of Israeli women, of witnesses and of the women themselves, and knowing that that Hamas, the terrorists, have been stating that they did that. I mean, and there was enough footage to prove that these definitely happened.
Now, Ariella is here with us in studio to speak about what she saw. So, Ariella, were you surprised by some of the reactions that you heard on the street there in London?
Yes and no. I was not surprised by the lack of pro-Israel narrative or people who were really informed on the conflict, but I was surprised by the lack of really anti-Israel narrative. I think what we see in social media and online, there's this idea that the streets of London is filled of this violent anti-Semitism. And for sure that's true. In many cases I've seen it, I could say, experienced it. But I was out for a good few hours that day, and from speaking to most people, the majority of people just don't really know anything, It's not really in their interest.
It's interesting, of course, because also on social media, you get the misperception that everyone is against Israel. But when you look at statistical polling throughout the West, United States and Europe, the majority of people still do support Israel's right to self-defense.
Well, this is the thing. I think what you see is that the people who are anti-Israel are just so loud about it. They make so much noise. So they seem like the majority, but they're not. And the other thing I can say is the people who I did speak to who were definitely anti-Israel were also highly uninformed. It was, first of all, a much younger generation, and they were also, their idea was if they haven't seen the evidence, it doesn't exist. And they're clearly only looking at one side. And so, well, maybe that's not surprising to us. It made it much easier to challenge them on it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ariella.
Thank you.